Yo, what is good, YouTubes? It's your boy Ray, and tonight I have got a special guest on Everyday City Carry. It is my homie Hollis from TikTok Midnight Movie. How's it going, my friend?
Pretty good. I'm doing good. And yourself, man?
I'm doing really good. Cheers to you, bud. I always have a glass of whiskey when I'm doing the pod.
Oh man, you should have told me. I would have, toasted up with you.
It's like a tradition. I just have a little bit of whiskey and then, I chat it up with a guest, man. I'm really glad you're doing this. And the reason why your TikTok page caught my eye, first of all, I fucking love TikTok. All right. I post
Right.
on every platform every day. Okay. But
I could believe it.
I scroll through and find the most like entertaining content on TikTok. Which is funny because the knife community is kind of weird with TikTok. They think it's like still the dancey stuff. And I'm like, you guys don't know what the fuck you're missing, man.
Right.
There's so much shit on here. And then when I go to Instagram now, I use it primarily as a messaging app.
Got
But
you.
the reason why your page caught my eye is I always love to see people that are passionate about what they're into. And dude, you post so much and you have really good recommendations too. Your taste in horror and in movies. You started posting about martial arts movies too, which I also love. So
Yeah.
I take it you're a movie buff, right?
Yeah. I'm actually the one of my first posts, if you go back, was a martial arts clip.
What
It's
was
just no one took to it. You know what I mean?
what was it?
It was the scene from Dragon Tiger Gate,
Oh.
where he's fighting in a restaurant, just
Yeah.
all leg day. You know what I mean? He was just beating it. Yeah, I don't know if I can curse or whatnot,
No,
but
you
either way,
can't. I curse all the time. Don't worry about it.
oh, okay. Now he was kicking the shit out of everybody. So with that being said, yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes. And
Mhm.
Dragon Tiger Gate is a really slept on martial arts movie. So I definitely wanted to show that aspect of my collection of my me being a movie buff.
Yeah. Oh, you got to get that.
Yeah, I don't have to get that. I don't know who that is. I didn't. Yeah,
You
never
could
mind.
get it if you want. I mean, it's all good. Like, I
All
will
right, I'll
just
be
keep,
right back.
yeah, I'll
Sorry
just
about
keep it
that.
going. So Hollis actually, if you go on his TikTok page, midnight_movie, he just posts a lot of good horror recommendations. And you guys know that I fucking love horror, and I'm just dying to talk to a horror person. You know what I mean? And we started chatting it up on TikTok. And I could tell this dude and I are gonna get along. You know what I mean? When you have like similar movie sensibilities, you could fucking chat it up and stuff. And you guys know I am trying to expand my guest roster, I guess. And having a horror person on when it's almost October kind of like makes sense, and it just all worked out. And I know this dude is gonna be a big content creator someday because he posts a lot. He knows about what he's posting, and that's what it takes, man. You need passion, you need consistency, and you need to be very interested in the topic that you're posting about. And Hollis has all that. That's the thing. I was just talking about you, like all good things, of course, of why I had
Thank
you on
you.
here. But yeah, when I see that, right, I don't care if the page has, less numbers than me or more numbers than me, but if I see that passion, right,
Yeah.
I want to talk to them. And I recently just started talking to a wider range of guests. Like I've had Twitch streamers, I've had fitness people on here. I had a girl that like just got into OnlyFans and was like killing it. I had this is the craziest one. I had a preacher, another horror buff, and then a ghost hunter type person on my Halloween episode like last year.
That
So we
sounds
all
like
talked
a
about horror.
bad joke. Like
Yeah, I know,
no
right?
bullshit.
Like they all
It
walk into
really
a
does.
bar. They all
Right?
walk into
Like
a bar
a
and
preacher and a paranormal investigator. That is the weirdest collection of people you can put in a room and talk about horror movies on top
yeah.
of that.
Yeah, because we all liked horror, even the preacher guy. So he actually he actually like rocks my Shutter account. Like, you know,
Wow.
yeah, like we're pretty tight. But what got you into movies and horror, like when did you kind of know, like, okay, I should make content about this?
Well, I mean, I've been a movie connoisseur, just a connoisseur of a lot of things for as long as I can remember. But I've been having this pushback, but recently, within the last couple months, I've only been doing TikTok for 2 months, maybe 3 months. And
Mhm.
so like I just had this urge to get up one day and it was just like, you know what? I need to be part of the social media scene again. Cause I haven't had social media since MySpace, bro.
Oh
Like
my God,
that was the last
MySpace,
time.
dude.
In Google Plus, which they got rid of, but
Mhm.
it was a mandatory because if you had a Gmail, then they automatically signed you
Yeah.
up for Google Plus.
Yep.
So those were the two last social medias that I was like willingly into. And so it had been a while and I just felt like I had so much to bring to I guess just social media in that sense for like movie buffs and movies in general, you know.
Yeah.
I'm always that guy that people ask for, recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
And because my collection is pretty big, so when people come over and they see my collection as like yours, they'll be like, "Hey, what should I watch or what should I get?" And so yeah, it honestly it just stemmed from that. I just woke up one day and was just like, you know what, I should just do this. I've
Yeah.
been hearing I should, so I just did it.
Dude, you're really good at it, okay?
Thank you.
Because I've talked to a lot of people. So, I was talking about the passion thing, and I think my passion is doing this. Like I'm into horror, I'm into all the nerdy like anime, MCU comics. I'm into all nerd shit. Like I'm into all that, right? I'm
Right.
into knives too because I got into content creation because of knives, right? But
Yeah.
um my passion, it truly is like talking to people that I want to talk to, and I was like, I'm going to become the everyday carry Joe Rogan, and I'm just going to talk to anyone who I want to talk to, and I'm going to introduce them to this community who's accepted me because my audience is basically people that are like me. They like everything. They're into knives too, but that's not everything that they're about. And
Right.
I want to just bring people that I like on here. So that's my passion. So when I saw you just posting, like, I'm like, man, this dude is posting, bro. Yeah,
Right.
posting.
Thank
How
you,
many times
sir.
a day you post on TikTok, dude?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. My
How
bad.
many times a day do you post on TikTok?
Probably like just on a regular day, probably like 3 or 4 times. On
Damn.
a good day, like today, maybe like 5 or 6, just to post, you know what I mean?
Word,
Just
word.
to get my content up, you know what I mean?
That is the name of the game, actually, is just posting more. I tell people you got to post at least 3 times. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
different times of the day, I usually try to hit like maybe noon, 3, like 6 or 7. And if I have a late night one, and I try
Right.
to make it about different things, I'm trying to build my page back up. I got
Which
banned, bro.
I know I seen that shit and it hurt my feelings
Yeah.
because I was going through some bullshit myself
Mhm.
with this, this basic attack on my character about tattoos. And
I
so when I
saw that.
seen yeah, you seen and so when I seen you got banned, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like this is some garbage. This is just a horrible day, bro. Like,
Oh,
and so it hurt my heart to see that, bro. And I'm so sorry about that, man. It
you
sucks. It
you
really
know
does.
what's crazy is uh the only thing I missed from my old account is my algorithm was like so dialed in of like what I wanted to see, which was
Yeah.
like animals doing cute shit, maybe some thoughty stuff, some
Right.
interesting things, some oddly satisfying, a lot of comedy, some fitness sprinkled in there. Like it was dialed in and I had to build it
Right.
back up again. Um, so yeah, but my new page feels better to me. You know what I mean? I feel like the engagement is better. Two of my videos went viral this weekend. I don't know if that's just I had a new
Seen that.
account. And I was like, oh shit, let me just, keep doing this and experimenting. And that is also one of my passions is like figuring out what works on each platform. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think you're really good at it because the way that you speak is very clear. You're very knowledgeable about what you're talking about and passionate, and that's like really what you. And consistency is the other one, dude. And you have all that already.
Thank you. Thank you.
If you
Bro,
just,
this means so much for you to even like talk these
yeah,
great things about me because like I said, I've only been doing this for a
hmm
couple months and every time I've reached out to people in the horror community that that does the same thing, I've always been met with this just like weird backhanded like reactions, especially when I tell them like I've only been doing this for a couple months, so I'm
Yeah.
still figuring out TikTok, and then they just disappear. Like, and that's my thing. Like, I'm here to interact. That's what
Yeah.
social media is for. You know what I mean? Especially for like the horror community, which is so accepting to a certain degree. And then when you meet people who, you know, do the same thing and they're not so kind at moments or, you know, as agreeable as you would want them to be,
Mhm.
it kind of sucks, bro. It really does.
Yeah, I actually asked another horror creator. I forgot her name, dude. And at the time, my page was bigger than hers. And then, you know, I have to drop the YouTube cred because, you know, YouTube has a lot of credibility. Like if you've got some, I don't even have a big channel, but you know, like getting 3,000 on YouTube is pretty hard depending on the niche that you're in.
Yeah.
And, I've definitely had people on here that have had like hundreds of thousands of subscribers before in the knife community.
Right.
And you know, that was one of the things, man, is like, even though I wasn't a big channel, all of these giants in the knife YouTube community that are just like the pioneers and shit.
Yeah.
You know, they invited me to a group chat and I call them the knife YouTube elites. That's what I call them.
Right. No, that's dope though.
And they fuck with me for some reason, you know, and then it makes me feel good. So it's like I want to do that to other people that I like too.
Right.
You're one of those people. I'm like, this dude, if
Thank
he
you.
just keeps going, you know, something's gonna happen. You know what
I
I'm
hope
saying?
so.
Yeah,
Like, even if it doesn't, it's all good.
it's
You know what I
fun,
mean? I
right?
just want to share my knowledge of movies and my love for it. You know what I mean? Just a
Yeah,
regular dude who wants to, like everybody else, be seen to a certain degree.
right.
You know?
Right. I mean, everyone's gonna be making content in the future. I always say this. You know, I tell my mom, I'm like, bro, you gotta get on make content about your retirement and shit. You're going on all these
Exactly.
cruises, you're enjoying, you know, you have a little bit of cash saved up, like, you know, show these other older ladies, you know, 70-year-old ladies, like where to go, like where the dope shit is.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm like, mom, what are you talking about? You know?
It's that thing of, it's just that fright of initially taking that first step and having that those preconceived notions about who you are and what you're doing. You know what I mean? So, and that was a big thing with me. That was the biggest thing of why I haven't been on social media, is because I have my, issues with myself, yada yada yada, wah, wah. And
Yeah,
when you go on to social media, you see certain things. It's certain things. It's all about the aesthetics for the most part. You
yeah,
know what I mean? So when you see that, and then you don't have that to a certain degree, or you don't want to push that, then it makes you feel a little bit nervous about giving people who you are. You know what I mean? Without judgment.
yeah.
So
No, I totally get that, man. And you know, I actually have been doing YouTube for 4 years now, and nothing has happened until I started doing a podcast, and
wow.
people started to, you know, just kind of dig what I was doing. Like, oh, there's
Yeah.
this crazy Asian dude from New York City who's into knives, and New York City is like knife hell because you can't carry anything here.
What?
You can, but it's like, you know, they have these rules where it's like, oh, it has to fit in the palm and it has to, you know, all of these weird things.
Oh,
But,
regulations. Yeah.
but, but at the same time, it's like, I can carry this knife, right? It's within regulations, but once I use it for self-defense, like I'm fucked. Like they just,
Yeah. Right.
yeah. But I mean, I don't use it for that. I carry it for like, I want to do this when I'm sitting down. That's it.
You're
You
a
know?
knife guy. You
Yeah.
do that so effortlessly. Like, you're just like,
Yeah, I
motherfucker.
just want to do that, you know, all day when I'm sitting at my shop. You know, shout out to
Man.
CBD. I work at a CBD shop. And I just want to do that when I'm sitting there and when we have boxes to open up, like I'm the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like shank people. You know, that's not what I'm about. So,
Of course
um,
not.
and most knife people are like that too. You know?
I'm a knife guy as well.
Yeah,
If I had my knives next to me, I would show you myself. Like, no bullshit. Like,
yeah,
and I need to get knives like yours. And that's
yeah,
why I love your channel. Like,
yeah,
the as much content as you put out, like there's a lot of good content that you put out about knives. And I've never seen anything like that before. I
Yeah.
mean, probably because I haven't been on social media like that.
Yeah.
But when I seen your channel, I was just like, wow, this is super dope because I'm really into knives. So when I seen like every post that you were doing were just knives, I was like, holy shit, I need to watch this. I need to, follow him immediately. You
Thank
know what I
you,
mean?
man. Yeah, it took a little bit of work, but I do have a steady stream of knives coming in from either viewers or companies like hit me up.
Yeah.
Worksharp just sent me their new guided system sharpener, right? Which is like this big tower thing, and you like sharpen your knives that way. They hit me up on Instagram.
Wow.
Into the DMs was like, hey, Ray, they spelled my name right too, bro. My name is spelled Rai. And they spelled it like that. I'm like, oh, they did their research, yo. They watched.
Right? Right on everything.
They were like,
On
hey, Ray.
everything.
They're like, hey, Ray, we want to send you, our new guided like system, right? Like, what's your address and stuff? And I feel good and shit. And it took
Right?
a while for that to happen, bro. And I want to say like maybe first 3 years, I was paying everything out of pocket, and it's expensive to run a YouTube channel, especially a review channel. I feel like if you review movies or anime or things like that, you can get by like watching streaming services and like talk about the things you're watching. And with when you're reviewing something, it's like you gotta pay out first. Like no, Samsung ain't gonna send me a Z Fold 3 unless I've been reviewing phones for 4 years, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I don't like you right now because you got the Fold 3, and that hurt my
I had
feelings
to pay
because I've
for it,
had
bro.
mine.
I had to pay for it. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, I had to pay for mine too, damn it, and that shit was a lot. And then to see it come out like what, maybe a year later, they come out with an upgraded version of, the third version. It hurt my soul.
Yeah.
And then when I seen you laughing, that was horrible, bro. You fucked me up with that. You was just like, ha 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 ha, and I'm like, you motherfucker. And I even commented. I was like, hey, man, I got mine a year ago. Wow, wow, wow.
I got mine 3 days early too. Like AT&T hit me up. They texted me. They're like, hey, it's ready. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting it.
Right? Like, I'm mad at you. But I was peanut butter and jelly for a minute. I'm not going to lie. I really was.
All right, man. We are back. Dude, you are the most patient guest I've ever had. This is the first time I've actually had to do this kind of procedure. I've never had a crackly robot voice except when I did a live, and I've never had to restart a room. This is the first time in like 200 episodes.
It's the first time for everything, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It definitely is.
So, we were talking about passion and posting and all that stuff. And yeah, so when you got on TikTok, you did the martial arts thing first. People didn't take to it. And when did you start seeing like things happen?
When I first posted a horror comedy trailer, and I knew it was gonna work, because I love horror and I know horror fans love horror. So what I had to contribute to social media, I knew it would work. But initially I wanted to show more than that. So I dropped a martial arts clip, and I dropped a dramatic one like scene out of this movie called Criminal Activity, I believe, and it stars John Travolta, and it's one of the most like you just have to see it. Like the scene is legitimate, but I wanted people to see that I was not just a horror fanatic, that I really love cinema. You know what I mean? I love movies. And so when it didn't take, and then when I dropped that horror comedy of the week, it was just like, I knew it. I knew it was going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have to say this, man, you're really good at talking about movies, because I've tried to look up, I do like some horror people on YouTube. That chick Spooky Astronauts is good. And my favorite like movie like person to go to is Flick Connection. He is fucking so good, bro. He'll do like every month he will show you what's coming out on Netflix, and also he, like recommends like crazy movies you've never heard of on Prime. You know what I'm saying? Like he drops it for every streaming service, which is like so brilliant. And I know you like martial arts movies. Scott Adkins.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Of
So
course.
this is how crazy it is. So he did like a list of gritty like action movies, and Avengement was one of the movies with Scott Adkins, which is a dope ass movie.
It
Bro,
is.
Scott Adkins comments on the video and is like, "You know your flicks, mate. You have a very good taste in action movies." I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like
That's
freaking out, and I've like when he wasn't that big, he would hit me up and like see how I was doing. And I think he's too big now, man. He's like on 300K on YouTube in like a year. So some people
um,
have that journey, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I feel like you could do that shit, bro. Like, do you have a lot of
Wow.
time or you know what I mean? Like in your daily day to day or
Yeah, I'm a night owl, so most of the stuff I do is at night, bro.
yeah.
Like I've I've had insomnia since I was a kid, so this definitely caters to what I do on TikTok. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you post late night then.
For the most part, if not, I'm editing stuff, or I'm looking for material, or I'm remembering like some of the like greatest movies I've seen to me, you know what I mean, to post for everyone else. So yeah, a lot of the work I do, or a lot of my thought process comes like in the middle of the night because I'm up.
Yeah. Do you work? Like, do you have a day thing or
Yeah, no, not right now. I don't work traditionally, but I am starting my businesses right now. I'm starting an apparel company, and I
yeah,
have
yeah.
some other
It's
stuff
cool.
going with some candle businesses, which is going
Yeah.
to be super dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude,
But
that'd be
I did elderly care for about a year last
Mhm.
year, and it was too much for me, bro. I went through a bad situation in a sense of someone passed,
Oh
and
shit, that
it
sucks.
made me realize that I need to put more effort in what, in the passion I have for life and for everything else. You
Dang.
know, just seeing
Yeah.
that, so
It,
that's the journey I'm on right now.
damn, that's tough, man. Yeah, it's like I was just talking about this the other night and I forgot the YouTuber's name, but so on my live show, my girl and I do it, and my wife, fuck, she's not my girl anymore. She's my wife.
Right. Don't let her hear that at all.
And there was these I saw it on TikTok actually, and this guy who like builds out cars. He just, finished a new build. It was like some crazy Lambo, and he's
Wow.
talking and he's doing the YouTube thing, like, hey man, we finally did it, whatever. And in the middle of the
Right.
thing, he goes, I'm trying really hard to make this video, but you know, um, my dad just died, and I'm like, fuck, because my dad died a couple of years ago, and it like really like made me feel stuff. And at first I was like, man, should I download this clip and play these clips on the show because they're gonna be a
No.
bummer? And I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna do it because that's how I do my show. It's like whatever I'm into, whatever I'm feeling, I'm gonna show it, right? So we
Yeah.
watched that. Me and like, I don't know, whatever it was, 35, 37 people who were in the chat were just watching that, and everyone started talking about like people, some people who lost their parents and stuff. And it is a heavy subject, but I
It
was
is.
telling people like this is this is a cool place for you if you have these emotions. And people are very forthcoming in our audience about like, oh yeah, man, like my sister committed suicide 3 years ago, like crazy shit.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Right. Right.
we all try to be there for each other. So I definitely know what that feels like to lose somebody that you care about. I mean, it was my fucking dad, bro. I was like, oh shit.
My
And
condolences, bro. I just
yeah,
lost my stepfather like
dang,
5 months ago as well.
shit.
So yeah, believe me, I get it. Like
Yeah.
definitely.
Positive
Mhm.
vibes, my friend. So let's move on to like a brighter subject here. In horror, so people that die and get killed. Like,
Who
um,
die only in horror movies? Yeah.
so what's your favorite genre of movies?
That's a
What's your
hard.
favorite movie? How about that? You have to
That's an even harder question to
really?
answer.
'Cause I
You
have
you
one.
know why?
Yeah.
Because how can you like only one thing? That's like saying if you only like one flavor of ice cream,
Mhm.
you're the blandest motherfucker ever
Yeah.
in the world. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because there's so many different flavors and things to experience. So for me, it definitely, I can't sum it to just
That-
one favorite thing. You
so
know?
I like a lot of shit. I'm into a lot of stuff. You know, like I mentioned before, I'm into all the MCU comic book,
Yeah,
anime. I play video games. I stream on Twitch. You know, I love movies, man. You know,
you
I
do
have
it all, bro.
the AMC movie pass. My girl and I go to fucking AMC in
Oh,
Lincoln
nice.
Center. We do the Dolby and shit. But
Oh, the Dolby Atmos.
yeah, I have a favorite movie of all time, and I want to see what you think of it. Okay.
Okay,
So
let's
my
get it.
favorite movie of all time is The Crow with Brandon Lee. All right. Love it. My favorite. Because there's a couple of reasons why. All right. First of all, Brandon Lee was gonna be the next Bruce Lee, except he died, right? And it was gonna be a big thing for Asians. I looked up to him, you know,
Right,
this Jack dude. And in the movie The Crow, his character is like the type of character I like, where it like almost right away he's overpowered. Like he got killed and then he becomes this being that cannot be killed, kind of.
right,
And he's just rocking shit. And then he's trying to save a girl or avenge a girl. That definitely, I'm a hopeless romantic, right? The soundtrack
right.
of Crow is just so fire too. Like the music,
Yeah, no
uh
lie.
yeah, and you know, I just really like that. I like that type of thing. You know, if you look at my favorite anime of all time, it's Hellsing Ultimate, which is like another overpowered character right away. So that's the
Hey,
type of stuff that I like, you know. That's why I
yeah.
pick that. But that doesn't mean I don't like
Other
Goodfellas.
than
You know what I'm saying?
no.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, right.
yeah.
And it's funny that you say The Crow. I was just talking to or just responding to somebody on one of my posts,
Yeah.
and he was saying that this was the last movie he had seen at a drive-through or a drive-in.
The Crow?
And yeah, no, that
Oh,
he said, remember, I don't know if you've seen that post that I did where it was the Food of the Gods too.
oh, the rats and shit.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
rats,
yeah,
exactly, with the fucking rats. So he was like, "This is the last movie I seen at a drive-in," and I was like, "That's the last movie I seen at the drive-through was The Crow
oh,
and The Perfect Weapon."
shit. The
It was a
perfect
double feature.
weapon.
You remember that shit?
Yeah. That's the dude with the
Yeah,
little
with the little
Scott
batons, and he
Speedman.
was in his little jacket, and he
Is
was
it Scott
fucking.
Speedman?
Yes,
Yeah. That was a good
yes, yes.
movie, dude.
No, it was. It was really
Yeah.
good movie. So it's funny that you bring up that you like The Crow, and that was the last movie I seen at a drive-in, which was
Oh,
it,
shit.
it was super dope. And you're right, Brandon Lee was on his way to be the
Oh,
replacement of his father. You
I
know what I mean?
know, bro.
Rapid Fire is one of my favorite movies.
Great movie
You
too.
know what I mean? In the sense of it being an action based with some martial arts and a good little storyline with it. It's one of my favorites, definitely.
I feel like those times, you know, late 80s, early 90s to late 90s, the action martial arts like hero, that's like the
Mhm.
prime, the peak, right? You know, you had the Van Dams and
Right.
even Steven Seagal, like for a hot second, like he was dope. You know what I mean? I don't know about,
Yes.
yeah, like in the beginning when he was doing the fucking Aikido and shit, and you're like, oh snap, he's slapping that dude. You know, it was really
Right, and
cool.
just throwing them around and shit in the little grocery store. Like, what the fuck is in a ponytail? Out of all things, too, like fresh as shit. And Steven Seagal is like a lot of older women's crush
Yeah,
still to this day. Like, no bullshit.
he was a cop in like New Orleans or something, right? Remember he had that show Lawman, and he was a cop.
Yes, when he was
Yo,
doing the actual cop of the reality show, and he was running around with it. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is Steven Seagal doing? Like with a sheriff's badge. Like, this is the last thing we need is a motherfucker who knows the no, we do not need Steven Seagal on
oh,
the street.
shit.
Like
Imagine
at
getting
all.
pulled over by Steven Seagal, bro. You'd be like, what?
Right? Right? Like,
Am I marked for death? You know what I mean? Like,
right? March for right. March for
oh,
Death is one of my favorites as
yeah.
well.
What was the one where this is when I think it started to what was the movie where he was like in Alaska and he was like in some kind of plant or something?
Um
Is
it,
that
I think I know where he was on a reservation, I believe, right?
yeah, something like he was
Um,
some kind of native character. You know what I
yes.
mean? And it was like cold, it was like winter and shit.
It's at the tip of my tongue. I
Yeah.
want to say it's something with ground or burial, not burial ground or
So yeah, you're right.
underground. Something I can't. It's right there.
On sacred ground or some shit like that.
Some shit like that. But
Yeah.
I know what you speak of.
I
I know what you
feel
speak of.
like that is when he started to kind of like take a dive. Like, because I was a kid. No, it was later than that.
Yeah, no, it was when he did the movie with Ja Rule. What was it? What was it called? What the fuck was it called? And I
Oh
liked
my
it,
god.
but it was a bit too much. You know what I mean? What the fuck was
Oh,
it called?
they were trying to recreate like the whole like I remember there was a time when rappers were doing martial arts films, And I
Yeah,
gotta
because he
say
did
this,
one with
okay?
DMX as well.
Dude,
Exit wounds.
Cradle to the Grave, DMX and Cradle to the Grave. I think he was pretty good in that. Even though that movie
He was.
wasn't great, I feel like DMX was good in that movie.
His martial arts scenes were pretty dope in that one. Like no bullshit. Like they
Yeah.
weren't extravagant, but they were good enough to pass. You know what I mean?
What's like your favorite one from that? Out of martial arts flicks, maybe let's say late 80s, to 90s. For
Late
me,
80s.
it's like either it's got to be Van Damme for me. It's either Kickboxer or Bloodsport. I like really, really love
Right.
Bloodsport. Maybe because I watched it with my dad and my brothers, and I remember Kickboxer. First of all, he did that fucking dance, which became a meme like much later, right? He was doing the thing.
Like he was in there getting it with the suspenders on.
And
Like
then,
no bullshit.
one of the things that I remember is when he was training, right? His master was in the tree, and he was like on the ground. He would drop the
Dropping the
coconut
coconut.
on him, and then he was like, "I'm good." And he drops another one. He's like, "Oh."
Right on everything. And I've done that type of training before with a medicine ball. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah,
And
when
if
they drop it on you. Yeah. That
you're
shit
not
hurt.
ready for that shit, it'll jumble your stomach up and your guts and you'll be fucked up for a little bit. I learned the hard way. Which is I know is a weird segue, but I've practiced martial arts and
Yeah.
done, fighting techniques since I was like 15, 14
Oh,
years
word.
old. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm so into martial arts as well.
I mean, I definitely I don't train in it like anytime recent, but my dad was really smart. He had 4 boys, right? And he was like, these fuckers are crazy. He's like, what am I gonna do with them? And he was basically donating money to this dojo that was pretty big. It was called Bastakan Karate, and the
Oh,
guy
nice.
who was the sensei was half Japanese, half Filipino, and
Oh, wow.
it was about like direct contact, almost like Jeet Kune Do, I would say. A lot of trappings and stuff.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
really like that because we love Bruce Lee. So he put me in there. I must have been like 5, and then we stayed in there until I went to America. Until I came to America. This was in the Philippines. I came to America when I was, I think, 7. So I was there for a few years, and
Man.
sparring with little kids, and like cute, like yeah, you know what I mean. But my
Yeah.
brothers were older.
So you got some training, huh?
Yeah. And when we got here, I messed around like Taekwondo and stuff, but I didn't like take it super seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, love martial arts, bro. Let's get into some segments here. I do have some segments for you, and we can talk about some horror now.
Okay, let's get into
Let's
it.
see if I have this here. Let me put this.
Let's
Okay,
get into the
so the
spook.
first segment is called Sharp or Dull. I explained this to you when we were offline, and basically, I'm going to show you a picture, and you're going to determine whether it's sharp, meaning that it's great, or dull, meaning it's bad. All right, so I'm going to share my screen right now, and here we go. So I'm actually going to talk about a streaming service here, Shudder. All right, I have Shudder, and I'm subscribed to it. I've never canceled my subscription, but I want to say out of all the streaming services I have, it is the least used. So I wanted to know your opinion on Shudder. I know I'm going to keep it because VHS is coming out.
Oh, you damn right, sir.
But in terms of a streaming service, even for not just horror, like sharp or dull, in your opinion?
Definitely sharp. Definitely.
Okay.
I love Shudder.
And what's your reasoning for that?
Well, because it's an app with nothing but the genre of horror. You know what I mean? You get different subgenres as well with Shudder, but it's definitely the best of the best. Like there's not any other like horror app out there like that. Like, do you know of any other app that just predominantly shows horror? No, Not at all. So yeah, no, with Shudder, it's my go-to. Like, and if you notice, like I post a lot of trailers, like for the most part, that have to
Mhm.
do with Shudder. So yeah, definitely sharp with the Shudder. Love Shudder.
Interesting. So the movies that I've watched on it, I would say 7 out of 10 are good, and 3 are like, some of the bad ones, and sometimes
Yeah.
bad is okay. But I feel like I don't use it that much. I think maybe because I am because I'm on Letterboxd. I don't know if you know that app. It's like
Mm-mm.
so it's basically like a movie review app.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's like a social media platform for movie buffs. It's pretty cool. You should check it out. It's
Wow.
Letterboxd without an E. So it's Letterboxd minus the E, from the D,
Okay.
right? Um, and
Definitely gonna
yeah,
check
like
that.
I you could find any movie on there. And one of the things I love about it is when you look for a movie, it also shows you where it's streaming, which is like
Oh,
really awesome.
nice.
And it's official, bro. It's like a really nice, very tight like package of an app. And yeah, Shutter. I feel like I just don't use it that much, man. I feel like my preacher homie is using it more than me. But there's
Right.
definitely shit on it that I'm like, oh, this is why I got it. Especially this like tooth monster thing. This is from Channel Zero, right? Have you
But
watched?
I already know that
Yeah,
is
that
a
shit
lot of
is
people
dope,
sleep on this.
son. Oh, I love that show. It was crazy. The first one was crazy, and it just got progressively fucking crazier. You know?
It's like a twisted love letter to horror. Like every
Yeah.
season is just it annies up from the next season.
Yeah.
Like no bullshit.
I remember in my old account, Everyday City Carry, I'm at EDC Carry now, but Everyday City Carry on TikTok, I posted a thing about Pretzel Jack, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that shit went viral, bro. It was like the part where they were doing the flip book and Pretzel Jack is just like flipping around.
Right. And oh my god.
Yeah, and people, I was like, this shit is weird. It's getting weirder. And then Pretzel
It's
Jack is going after the little girl.
oh my god. The Pretzel Jack is like it's the horror version of Drop Dead Fred. Like
Yeah,
I say this all the time, like literally. Like it's the epitome of Drop Dead Fred, but in a horror movie.
that was
Like
a
no
good show,
bullshit.
man. I can't believe it didn't come back. I wanted it to, but they put the
What?
kibosh on it.
Wait, this
Channel
is
Zero
not
is
coming
done,
back?
right? I don't. I heard it isn't. I mean, is it?
I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, you're probably right. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
because I remember the last season was the Pretzel Jack season,
Yeah,
right? And I
yeah.
loved it. I was like, oh man, I can't wait because I binged all the seasons that week. And what are you doing, Rob? Come here. Come here. Let me show you to my friend.
The only season I did. Oh wow,
The werewolf here. This is the mascot of the channel. This is Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
He's massive.
I can see fluffy as shit as well.
He's a ragdoll cat, so you can do whatever you want. And they,
Like yo, yeah, have you seen my post about cats? Yeah, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you respect the cat. That damn it, you respect him. Ragged on my ass.
well, that's the breed. And hold on, he's
Oh,
tangled.
for real? I thought you were just saying like we just ragged all this
No,
cat
no,
around.
he's his breed is ragdoll, and they're the
Oh
type of
wow.
cats that the reason why they do that is when they're like young and stuff. When you pick them up, they kind of just go limp, and even when they're
Oh, okay.
you saw right now, like I was just doing whatever I want.
Yeah, I
Didn't really
seen you. You was about
complain.
to. You look like you was about to Gary Payton your cat. Like no bullshit.
Yeah, he's just like that. But so we're going sharp on Shutter, right?
Yes,
I'm
very sharp.
pretty sharp on it, even though I don't use it that much. The last really, really good horror movie that I watched on it was a movie called Terrified.
Oh yes.
Oh, dude, that
Oh
shit.
yes.
That's the type of horror movie that like will give me the creeps a little bit. It's
It
when it's
sticks
like
with you.
apparition,
Mhm.
supernatural. I love, Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees, like the serial killer, supernatural
Mhm.
serial killer stuff. I love that. But the things that will actually make me look around when I'm going to the bathroom at night is things like
Mhm.
Terrified, where it's like you cannot defeat these beings and you're gonna get fucked up. They're gonna come out of the mirror and grab you and shit. Dude,
Yeah, because it's something that can possibly really happen if you believe in that type of,
yeah, yeah.
you know what I
Terrified,
mean?
fucking crazy, bro. That
It
shit.
is. If you can get past the subtitles, it's a really, really good one. Like no bullshit.
Do you watch a lot of things in subtitles or you do prefer it dubbed?
I love foreign cinema. Like
Mhm.
I've been watching martial arts flicks that were like the old ones, the Shaw Brothers, the
Yes.
36 Chambers of
Like
Shaolin,
Gordon
all
Liu
the
and shit.
yes,
Yeah.
legit stuff. Well, I mean, the Shaw Brothers are a little bit less subtitles,
Mhm.
but yeah. But have you ever heard of Street Fighter with Sony Chiba?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you already know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about then.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been watching that type of stuff for the longest. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Me too. Because in the Philippines, we basically watch whatever we can get, and that was one of the things. I mean, I think when I was growing up, so I was born in 1981, and in the Philippines, till I left, man. I mean, we had like 2 channels on TV, bro.
Oh wow. So
It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
limited, you know what I mean? And yeah, whatever we can get from the video store or whatever, like we will
You
just
watched it.
watch that thing. I remember I watched this Bruce Lee cartoon. I forgot what it was called, right?
What?
And I watched this episode so many times, and you know, it was Bruce Lee. I don't know if he was the voice actor. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was like mad bootleg and shit. But like there was this dragon fighting him, and it ate him, and he was like he was trying to get out, so he went to the tonsils and he was being like "Wah, wah," to the fucking tonsils, and it spit him out. That's like the only thing I remember about it. But we had it on not even VHS. I think it was like Betamax, bro. So imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah, like old school, like 80s, you know.
Yeah, no, that's super old. You're older than me. For some
Yeah.
reason I thought you would have been the same age or a little younger than
I'm
me.
40 years old, bro.
That's you look good for your age, bro. No
Thanks.
bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, bro.
No, I could have swore you were like 35, 34. No bullshit.
I
No
turned
wonder why you got this distinguished gentleman with the whiskey. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. It makes perfect sense,
Thank
sir.
you so much, man. All right, so Shadow, we're going sharp on it, and we're gonna go
Yes.
to the next one right here. Okay, I'm gonna show you the next thing. So this is a very controversial movie in the horror community. I don't know if you've ever watched this. A Serbian film. Do you see that?
Yeah, I could see it, but I've never heard of it.
You've never heard of a Serbian film.
No.
Okay, so it is basically one of those shock like snuff movies. And
That's why.
if you've never watched it, we're gonna skip it because there's a lot of really crazy things in this movie, but it was one of
Yeah.
those movies where they put a lot of money into it and it was like decent cinematography, but it was definitely like a sexual exploitation, crazy, gory movie that was like that had money behind it, and it's banned in so
Wow.
many countries. And I wanted to know what your take was on it, but if you didn't watch it, we're gonna skip it.
I definitely need to watch this now. Like,
It's gonna fuck you up, bro. There's really fucked up shit in it. But for me, when I watched, so this is the thing. I wanted to know what type of horror person you are, because for me, right, when I watch a film, whether it's a film like this where it's like almost snuff. I mean, they're not really getting killed, but to
yeah.
me, I know how to separate my reality from it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is just crazy, but it doesn't like upset me because it's
Yeah.
not real. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
is
because it's artistic expression.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what's fucked up is like when I watched this movie with my ex, yo, and like we immediately had sex afterwards. It was like really
Hey, yo, see, that's
I'm
a
fucked
whole
up.
nother level of shit right there, bro.
There was
Just
one.
like, oh yeah, this turned me on. Let's get it. Like, hey, bro, that says a lot about
Oh,
you.
this is
You
my
watched
girl
the
saying what
snuff.
up. Hey,
That definitely was not me.
You're right. No, I
Gotta get in
know.
here.
I'm coming. I'm gonna.
Are you gonna hop on? Yeah. All right. Oh shit, my girl's gonna hop on, dude. That's my girl,
Nice.
Kelly. But yeah, we'll skip a Serbian film.
This kind of actually reminds me of Climax. Have you watched that?
I have watched Climax. That's the dancey one, right?
Yeah.
Dude. So it was that movie. Okay, so I actually watched that movie because Flick Connection, who I mentioned earlier, talked about it. So the beginning of that movie feels like going to a house party where it's just weird, the vibe. It's like you don't want to be there, but it's like the music is bumping, there's cute girls, there's a lot of people, but it's fucking weird. And
super fucking weird.
And then it just goes crazy. And then when things started going crazy, I'm like, I'm here for this. This is the type
Right?
of
You were
movie I like.
invested with the fuckery at that point. Yeah, right?
Yeah, a little bit closer, babe. Yeah, and it was a crazy movie, man.
Hello.
Well,
This is
hello.
Hollis. Midnight
Hollis.
movie.
Nice to meet you.
TikTok. This is my wife Kelly.
Nice to meet you.
I got to remember to not call you my girl, but I guess
Right.
you're my girl anyway.
I mean, it's true regardless. I don't
She is
care.
all the above.
I'm like
I
that
get
dude
it.
who lives in my house.
so my so my girl does not watch horror at all. But
Not even thrillers?
let me stand
I
up.
watched no thrillers aren't
Let me
included.
stand up for her a little bit though. So when it comes to
You gotta be
things
specific.
like, I've watched, I want to say 3 horror movies with her the whole time we've been together. Maybe 4. Okay,
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
name
It
each
depends
one.
on what you
I'm
consider
gonna-
horror
I'm-
movies.
I'm gonna name each
Very
one.
true.
I'm gonna name each one,
Go ahead.
and I think that Hollis is gonna approve of all of them.
Okay.
Okay. So the only horror movie, the first horror movie we watched in the theater
Mhm.
was Overlord. Okay, that
Oh,
was
yeah.
a horror movie. Great movie, right? It's a zombie movie though. She can do zombies. Zombies are fine, right?
Most women can. No disrespect. Most women
Yep.
love zombie movies over other things. That's no
Yeah.
bullshit.
The second movie was Anna and the Apocalypse because my girl is, she was a singer when she was in high school.
That
and
was
she,
that
Musical.
zombie musical
she
thing that came out.
graduated college with a degree in acting, so she loves musicals. She's a Broadway girl.
nice.
And those are
Yeah.
the types of things that are horrific to me. So like, we went to watch Anna and the Apocalypse, which was okay.
I haven't watched it.
Don't.
Don't. The third movie, the
Good.
third movie was Lake Mungo.
I haven't watched that one either.
Dude, you gotta watch that, bro.
I don't know. Maybe because it looks like it's more on the B side of,
So
like
it's part of Masters of Horror, right? Is it?
no, it's part of the after dark
After
horror
Dark.
thing.
Okay, so
Yeah.
out of that was a movie that took me by surprise because I usually don't like movies like that because it's almost presented like not Ghost Hunter, but it's a mockumentary, right?
Okay.
But that movie is gonna make you feel stuff, bro. Feel stuff, not just like not give you goosebumps like when you're scared, but like
No.
make you feel stuff for this family, like genuinely.
I
And-
love that. I love the invoking of emotion in horror movies.
And there was
I
one
do.
That one scared
Yeah.
the shit out of
There
me.
was one scary part in it, and that sticks to
Right.
my girl even today. Like we'll be in bed, and she'd be like, "I'm thinking about that one part with a girl."
Right, wait,
I gotta
what?
pee, but then that part comes into my mind, and all of a sudden I can't pee now.
What? I need to see this. How have I not watched this? Like, I know how I've not watched it, but
Oh,
I-
keep it light.
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that movie definitely had that psychological effect on me, where I was like,
You will like that shit.
and those are the scariest. The psychological horror movies, like
Right.
those are the scariest for me. And like all the gore and the extra shit, that's
Yeah.
cool. But
It's
the
fun.
psychological aspect of it really is what gets me going for horror movies.
yeah.
And then the fourth movie that we watched was a movie called Spring, and we watched that on Tubi. That's a
Mhm.
good movie to watch with a girl who doesn't like horror because it's a love story.
Right.
But it's got enough horror like
Which one was
elements
that?
in it. That's the one where the girl was like changing into like tentacles, remember? But it's a love story though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was a cool movie, dude.
It was. It was super dope because you to see her transformation into different things and then the storyline brought into it definitely made it for like a good experience entertainment wise.
But we've definitely watched more than just that because
You'll watch
again,
sci-fi.
It,
You
it's
watch
so
sci-fi,
I
no
consider
problem.
sci-fi a completely different genre, and it depends on who you talk with. Because if you actually talk about what horror movies are, they're movies that are so scary that they change people's behavior, right? So that it's actually the top horror movies. I've seen them all. So you're talking Jaws. Actually, people didn't go on vacation to the beach after
I'm
Jaws
still
released.
scared to get in the water.
My
right
dad was
now.
like, I wouldn't take a bath after Jaws released.
Wait, what?
My dad was like, I will shower, but there was no bathtubs. There was no swimming pools. There was
Mm.
nothing that summer. So you
Yeah.
have that one. You have Alien was a huge one, scared the hell out of people. That was, again, when you're talking the top movies. That,
I think
that
Alien
affected-
1, I would consider it more horror than sci-fi.
that's why I
but
said Alien,
Aliens,
not Aliens.
Alien, yeah.
Alien.
yeah.
So
Definitely
when
more
you're
sci-fi.
talking about the top movies, I've seen those. When you're talking about the Like any type of zombie, vampire, I'm about that life. I like it.
Yeah.
I like those.
You love 30
I
Days
like
of Night.
psychological thrillers. So
30 Days of Night
like
is your
things
jam,
like
right?
Bone Collector, right? Classic movie, right? I love movies like that. Anything that has to do with shit I can't fight physically, I don't want to watch it. If I
Right?
say someone's
I
name
don't do
5
possession
times and
movies
then they
either.
murder me in
Wait,
my
you
sleep,
don't?
no,
I
it's
can watch them because I love the art of cinema, but
Yeah.
I do not prefer to like. I won't buy them. I won't. No, I
Mhm.
can't because it just hits me in a different way. Because, like I said, if you believe in that type of
Yeah.
stuff, then it definitely hits
So
close.
and I tell that to Ray. I'm like, being raised Catholic, and he was raised Catholic too, but in a different, literally a different place.
Mhm.
Here, it's like, I made it, I'm not kidding you, 15 minutes into The Exorcist. As soon as this bitch was flopping on the bed, I was out. I'm done. I don't care.
I don't know. Like
Right?
to me, like
Nope,
The
I don't care.
Exorcist is like funny, bro.
Nope.
She was
Mm-mm.
like, Jesus, fuck me.
Do you
She
want
was
to know
like-
who I was watching The Exorcist with? It was my church friends.
Oh
But my
God.
church friend. I was
Wow.
like, no, not doing it.
So here's the
Right.
deal, right? Kelly touched on a little bit about like where I'm from. So I was born in Bicol, a city called Naga City, and in that town we have a
In the
holiday
Philippines.
called All Souls Day, where you actually spend a night in the cemetery where your dead relatives are buried. So
Nope.
superstition and stuff was just rampant in my, from age
Yeah.
1 to like
Yep.
6 till I came here. So I believe in all this crazy stuff. My favorite, so I don't do this a lot
My
anymore.
favorite.
I don't do this a lot anymore, but my favorite way of watching horror, and you're gonna think I'm psycho
Yes.
doing this because a lot of people do.
Accurate thought.
When I was in my 20s, my favorite thing to do was to take psychedelics and watch horror movies. And it
Hey,
would,
yeah, you fucked up, bro. What happened to you?
bro, I would watch like you know what's mad funny?
Who hurt you?
You know what's mad funny?
Or
No,
who
because
didn't
hurt
hurt
it
you,
makes me
should've.
like feel alive. So you know what's really funny though? So this is not a scary story, but one day I was I wasn't on acid. I was tripping on these pills. They were called Bermuda triangles, right? And I didn't even know what they
shit.
are really. Okay, so they're like yellow and they have
Bath
triangles on them. No, this was before that. And they made you trip really hard, right? So I was like looking for a movie, and I stumbled upon this movie called Jack Brooks Monster Slayer. Have you ever watched this movie?
Yes, I know what you're talking
Bro,
about.
with Robert Englund, this guy that looks like a Wahlberg, and
Yeah, he's the trucker type of.
Yes.
Like he has the hat. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I watched that movie while tripping, and I had the greatest fucking time watching it because it's
You
like a
did.
horror comedy.
Yeah.
And it was fun, but that's my favorite thing to do. I don't do that anymore because I feel like my recovery time would be like fucking a week since I'm like 40 years old.
Right. Yeah. No,
Back then,
you're
I go to
right.
work-
You're completely right, sir.
Back then, it was like I'd go to work the next day and like go to an office and be fine.
Whereas
But like,
I
Right.
now-
would
Drink
say-
some water and you're good.
Yeah, where you were talking about like sleeping in the cemetery. I also had a custom with cemetery stuff as a kid.
What?
Yeah.
What you mean?
I had to hold my breath while driving past the cemetery, or I was going to be cursed.
yeah.
And I swear to you, I would choose to pass out before I was going to breathe passing a cemetery as a kid. That was like a thing, you had to pick your feet up over railroad tracks or else it was bad luck.
Very superstitious. Huh?
Not breathing past the cemetery was
That's
a huge thing down south. Huge thing. In fact,
It
I
was.
still to this day have to remind myself to breathe when I pass a cemetery because I have to be like,
God, dude.
that's how
Do you travel around cemeteries a lot?
So I work by a huge cemetery. The cemetery that I work by is literally like I would say a 3-minute drive, but it also has stoplights. So if I tried to hold my breath now, I'm done for.
I'm definitely gonna like
Wow.
at one point where
Not gonna
I'll
happen.
just leave a life-size statue of like the girl from The Ring, like in the kitchen.
I
and shit.
used to actually have a boxing
What?
dummy.
Why would
That's
you
right.
do
Like this guy, I used to have a boxing dummy, like one of those the ones that
Like a
look
slam
like
man?
yeah,
Okay.
and they look like a white dude. And
Oh yeah,
my
the Bobs.
Yeah, my roommate and I used to dress them up and try to scare each other. So that was something. That was something. But I will tell you, the scariest thing that happened to me was I actually watched The Ring. I watched The Ring in college. I've told you this.
All right.
I watched The Ring.
Did you like it?
Save this story because this is gonna come up in
Okay.
the
All right. I'll
segments,
tell this.
okay?
I'll tell this story.
All right.
No, I didn't.
So we're gonna go. You haven't watched Serbian film. I'm gonna go sharp on it because I appreciate it for what it is. But since you haven't watched it, we're gonna skip it.
All right.
American Horror Story. Have you watched the series?
Yeah, I haven't watched. I didn't finish Apocalypse, and I haven't watched the newer one. I've watched a couple episodes, but it just felt like a little regurgitated a little bit. The first 2 episodes.
So sharp or dull on this? I know the first. I think I watched up to. I watched past Coven. I watched the one after that too, which was the weird one where it was
The
like
Freak Show,
Fleetwood Mac shit. Or no, the Freak Show. The Freak Show one I didn't watch. I didn't finish, even though the clown was scary as fuck.
Yeah,
the one after that where it was like almost
the aliens.
No, it was the one where there was a cult going after them, and it was that blonde girl, and she was with this black dude. I forgot the story.
Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok.
Roanoke.
Roanoke. There you go.
So I watched Roanoke was the last one I watched. I liked the Lady Gaga one. That was like cool. But definitely, I feel like the first season was like so fire, bro. Like that was. You know,
I would say sharp on this, even though it's kind of fell short, like with certain seasons, but it's still sharp. It's American Horror Story. You can't really go wrong with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As a horror fan, you know, you sometimes run out of high quality stuff to watch, and I feel like American Horror Story is always there. If I had to pick though, like my favorite horror series of recent years, it would be The Haunting of Hill House, bro.
I haven't finished that yet. I thought you were going to say
the first one.
Wait, the first one?
First season.
There's 2 seasons?
There's 2 seasons. So the second one is The Haunting of like Blue Manor or something, and that one was more like a love story. Right. The first season though, bro, I was watching that shit and I was getting the heebie-jeebies. You know, like I'd be going to the bathroom.
He's like, I'm like, yo, this is the scariest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just look at this one clip, and it's just that panoramic scene where it goes around the room and you see the whole family, and then it goes back around, and all of a sudden there's a dead girl standing there. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's that shit. That's that shit right there.
No, absolutely. This is giving me the right now, what is it? 13
It's the whiskey, vibes. Bro. It's not what we're talking about.
And that gave me the 13 Ghost vibes, you know, when the girl's in the shower and now I'm looking for huge tits and a crazy girl.
See, my girl watched 13 Ghosts, which is a great horror movie.
Yeah,
13 Ghosts was really cool.
Wild.
So American Horror Story, we're going to go sharp on this, right?
Yes, definitely sharp.
Okay, cool. All right, we're going to go to the next thing. Ghost Hunters.
I watched the first season or 2, maybe just here and there.
Yeah.
I would say dull because I don't really like. I don't like the paranormal reality shows. They become really redundant. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So, and you really don't get anything but like cheap scares for the most part. Not knowing if it's real or not. I mean, it could be real, but you wouldn't know because every episode is just this season on fucking Ghost Hunters. Yeah, it's like, we're gonna go. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's so hyped up.
With the camera in a dark room.
It's kind of like, you ever watch that Korean movie Gonjam, like Asylum or whatever? And it's like you wanted an episode of Ghost Hunters to become that, because that movie is Ghost Hunters, but they find something.
Exactly, and they get fucked up.
And in Ghost Hunters, nothing ever happened. So I'm going
nothing
myself. Yeah, I'm going dull on that. You know, shout out to my paranormal investigator friends. Like, I love you guys, but I don't like
no disrespect whatsoever. You know what I mean?
They tell me stories where it's like, damn, dude,
y'all do shit I'm not gonna do. Ever.
I mean, when I had those guys on, I forgot their name. I feel so bad. But they took their wives with them and they stayed there for hours, you know, and then they started hearing shit, and they.
See, I just don't understand. Why do you want? Look. Let me just put it like this. men, y'all don't got enough fear in your lives, and I feel like that's why.
We have
That's
fear
why
every day. What do you mean?
you guys get to watch these. You get to watch these shows. Women, we're scared of everything. We're scared of everything. We're scared.
You don't think men are scared of everything?
Listen, you watch.
We're definitely scared of everything.
My girl,
It's like,
my
scared.
girl
We're scared.
watches so much true crime shit.
I watch.
Hey, that's that bullshit right
That's
there.
what I'm
That's the
saying.
scary shit.
Let me tell you something. I won't watch the news because it's too depressing, but I'll put on Criminal Minds in a heartbeat. I'll
Criminal
be like,
Minds.
And watch somebody get
CSI,
tragically
like-
murdered.
I'll be looking it up too, like who was the Boston original
Yeah.
killer? And then I
Oh
go
my
through the whole
God,
backstory. I'm
bro.
like, did you know he has 2 offsprings? They're about our age now.
Oh my
Right? You didn't went down the rabbit
Oh
hole
my
and just
God.
found out wow. That reminds me of like the Lifetime channel and when I was growing up. And there was this one movie with Farrah Fawcett called The Burning Bed. And I know what you know what I'm talking about, right?
I think I've heard of it.
I might have seen that. I'm Farrah Fawcett, The Burning Bed. What year did that come out? Like,
Shit. I
80s.
would have to Google it.
I'm
But-
Googling right now.
But with that being said, my mom was a real big, like most women, they like their dramatic crying.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, her saying that reminded me of that movie, which was very fucking terrifying because, like she was an abused woman, and eventually she didn't.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. She was an abused woman, and she had it one day, and she burnt that motherfucker in his bed.
Oh,
that
shit.
bro.
Fucking fair.
Bro,
That's crazy.
bro, that's terrifying.
That sounds like a
That's the
love
type of
story to
scary
me.
That's like pre-Lorona
Wait, what?
Rabbit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
She loves herself. That's what that story is.
But Ghost Hunters.
That is
I'm
a
gonna keep
fucking
this
note to
outside.
self, huh? Wow.
That's
Ghost
so funny.
Hunters were going dull though, right?
Dull.
They're very dull.
That's
Very
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go. Have you ever watched this movie, Levid?
dull. No, why you just making me look horrible today, bro?
Okay, no, because it is a kind of obscure film. So this
Mhm.
was the last vampire movie that actually like gave me the creeps.
Holy
And
shit.
if you want, we will watch the trailer right now.
I
And
don't know.
I will sacrifice my copyright.
Wait. Are you sure, bro? I don't know.
No, bro, it's fine because our channel actually isn't monetized because it was like some tax thing, and I'm waiting for Google AdSense to send me this PIN number
As he's
so I
been
can
waiting
reactivate
for
it.
4 months.
Bro, I've been waiting
Damn.
so fucking long.
Yeah.
And with COVID, everything is fucked up. So like I actually
Super slow.
I'm not monetized right now. It's like insane. We only make money through Patreon, and we have merch now, by the way. I linked it to the
Oh
thing.
yeah, we have
Oh,
merch.
nice.
We make money through Patreon. We make money through the audio podcast. But I'm gonna show you this Levid right now, babe. You can close your ears. I'm,
Yeah, just take off the
if
headphones.
you want to not.
Nah, you
listen
here?
to
You
it.
might as well watch it with us. You here?
So this is Levid right here.
Let's
I
see.
want to see. Hold on.
Watch.
Let
My
me-
answer to this will be no.
Let me just make sure if it has subtitles in it.
It's just a
Yes,
move.
yes, it does have subtitles. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna watch this right now. Let me share it with you. Share screen. I'm gonna stop.
It
the-
looks creepy from the cover art.
Yeah, that's already
I can,
ballerina vampires. This is almost as terrifying as Alaskan vampires.
I'm gonna share these screens right
And
now.
all
Share
night.
system
I mean,
audio.
really, what's worse than that?
I don't
Look,
think you can
you're
hear.
gonna be okay. This is gonna be good.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
I don't know if we can hear this audio, but you can, right, dude?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so good for you. You can't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So check this out right here.
That's a tight bun, though. She got that shit on.
this,
Right.
this movie it's French. French people make fucked up shit.
You're completely right on that one, sir.
I almost just said something super fucked up. I'm glad I kept it in my mind.
Do it.
So they're robbing a vampire house and shit.
It's a good idea.
Bro, this shit creeped me the fuck out, bro. Check this out right here.
What is that?
But don't be walking up creepy like that.
Only white people gonna walk up to a corpse and then be like, "What is that?"
He also
I'm not touching that. I'm not fucking touching
Oh no, I can say it. That's my people.
Yes, you are correct.
Besoin de barrage seul.
Shit.
Yeah, this is a crazy movie. If you haven't watched it, you want to get creeped out, this is a good one.
Something's happened.
She was putting hands on that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, that's
Is this about a vampire that was trained by a boxer, or?
So this is what happened to Black Widow
But
after she
basically,
was
they
turned by a
try
vampire.
to rob a house, right? Thinking that it just has this old guy in it.
That way, that
Okay.
And the old guy was a fucking vampire.
That was definitely a girl.
like on his last legs, and there were other weird beings in the house. And French people, they make some good shit, man. Martyrs is a crazy fucking movie. And
one of my fans had posted something about Martyrs, and I've avoided it because, like I said, I have this process to where when I was younger, I went to go buy every fucking movie before there were streaming apps. I would go to Walmart, FYE, wherever I could go to find movies.
Yo.
You remember FYE?
Yeah, bro.
First off, I never did that.
What? Oh,
Did what?
Those are all the DVDs that I used to go out and buy. Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that's not wallpaper.
This is my girl's.
Those are actual DVDs.
So the first time I came to Holly's house, okay, she first of all, she has like a, when you go to a movie theater and you see the sign,
yep,
like it's a very distinct.
The marquee, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So she has that on in front of this room. This is like sort of our living room area, and then she shows me.
Nice.
All of these DVDs, and I'm like, this girl has a good fucking chance right now.
Oh wow, right? You think so?
Yeah, because I love movies. You know what I mean? And she does too. Even though
those are all you guys'
this is her.
No, this is all me.
This is all her.
He only contributed one.
The Crow.
Really? What's the one movie he contributed?
The Crow.
The Crow.
Hey,
I have the director's cut of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right on, my brother.
Let's keep it going though, because I feel like I can talk to Hollis like forever, man. Yeah. This is
we ain't even got into like some deep we haven't even got into it yet, but yeah, like
trust me on this. I'm definitely gonna have you on again. That's like 100%.
Thank you. I'm a little bit nervous, so I appreciate you.
No, you were fucking great, bro. I this is what I was saying earlier. Is I can just tell when people have a knack for content creation. Because you have the gift of gab, you can talk, and this is why I always urge people, if you want to do long form content, podcasting is the best way, because you can do an hour with a guest or by yourself, and then you can just chop up the podcast and make little clips for your TikTok or Instagram.
Very true.
And I don't do that enough, but I really should.
I don't do it at all.
You should. Like, this surprised me when you were saying you had a podcast and we were going to talk about horror movies. I'm like, what does the knife guy want to talk to me about? Like, the fuck? Are we going to do like a chop tutorial on the podcast?
Just a couple of chatty Cathys, man. That's what it is, So,
I mean, he does the knife stuff, but
I do it kind of, but I'm definitely.
It's a great community.
I love your wife, by the way. You are A-okay with me.
Yeah, she's amazing. One of the best fucking co-hosts like I've ever seen. She's really
not starting out. Starting out, I was very, very quiet. Shy. I would like sweat. I'd get anxiety.
Yeah, now she's really good at it now. It's like insane.
I know, like, bro.
Yeah, it's a good addition
for the podcast, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I always say this, if you want to succeed on social media today, you need to have a white girl with piercings and tattoos. And I was like, I have one, so I'm just gonna have it on here.
Again, I can't even touch that. Stop doing this to me. You know I can't touch this shit.
You can say it.
All right, so we're up to the next segment now, and I'm going to show you. It's called Versus. Okay, I'm going to show you two pictures.
Okay,
and you're going to tell me which one you prefer. All right.
Gotcha.
So the first one right here is my two favorites. This is the original Japanese ring or the American version of the ring.
Neither.
No, you can't. You don't have this, but I have an opinion on this myself.
So you want me to pick between one of those?
Yes.
In the sense of what's better?
Pick one of which one is better in your opinion.
It would have to be Ringu. It would have to be Ringu.
Original?
Yeah, it would have to be original. Yeah.
So explain.
I mean, the second one, the American version is good, but like the original is just so much more in-depth horror. You know what I mean? Like when they Americanize certain things, they kind of like the screenplays will kind of take the certain aspects of horror out of it. So yeah, the first one I would definitely go with that one.
So here's my opinion on this. I love The Ring. The Japanese ones I've watched more, but when I watched The Ring, that shit really fucked me up. And I watched the original before. The reason why is I feel like the actual videotape was done better in the American version.
True.
That shit, like that sound, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
I like the villain in the original Japanese version better. She's like an adult, Sadako, right? That's her name.
Creepy as fuck. Yeah.
Yes, I don't like the little girl in the American version, but I feel like the tone of the American version and the polish and Naomi Watts fucking love her.
Better.
You know what I'm saying, yeah, it kind of like was better. My biggest disappointment in the movie was when the little girl came out. I was like, man, I wanted her to be the adult, like scary, skinny, long-haired chick, you know. And
wild.
So I actually like the American version better. My girl does not like it at all. You watched The Ring, right? Tell your story. Tell your story.
So I used to, I went to college, right? And I was in a co-ed dorm.
Yep.
And we had a thing on our hall. We had a very close-knit like dorm. And so we would leave our doors open whenever we were in the room, right? So if we were there, you always knew because our door would be open.
Gotcha.
So my neighbor's door is open, so I just waltzed my happy ass right up into their room. Hey, what's going on? They're playing The Ring. It just started. My stupid ass not knowing what it is, but I'm like just a fly to light. So I'm like, y'all watching a movie? What you watching? Oh no, this is getting fucked up. What's happening? Wait, why is she dead in the closet? What's going on? Right? And then I'm like, is she in the closet? She not in the closet? Now, my stupid ass could not get up. I could not walk away from watching.
Because you were scared?
I know, because I was so intrigued with what was going on. It just sucked me in, and it was terrifying. But what I didn't mention is my roommate was an 85-pound white girl with long, dark brown hair. And I woke up that night, and mind you, this is how old I am. I'm about to let y'all in on a little secret. I'm so old. Because I had this movie theater. I've always put pride into like movies. It's my thing. I was balling at the time, and I bought a 24-inch. Y'all better sit down. 24-inch TV. It was the biggest in my dorm. It had that big old back on it, but it was a straight.
This was like what year?
Flat. This was 2003.
Oh, dude, having that in college in 2004 4-inch is a big fucking deal.
I was like, hello, right? I had my Trio 650 out. I was calling all the dudes, hello. I was single. I was ready to mingle, right? So I was about that life. I woke up. First off, I covered the TV that night. And I didn't just cover it. I booby trapped that shit. So I put weights up on the top. So if this stupid bitch tried to crawl out of my TV, it was going to knock her out, right? And then I'd at least have time to jump over her and get out. What I didn't plan for is my roommate woke up in the middle of the night. I don't know why she did this, but she wrapped herself in her sheet and started to walk towards the door in the middle of the night. So it's pitch black. I can't see anything. All that I catch is the little bit of moonlight coming in the window, reflecting off her. She forgot something in her bed. And so she stopped to think about whether she should go back and get it. So she just stopped dead ass in the center of the room, wrapped in a white sheet, and she's facing away from me. So all I see is the white sheet and her hair. And I was like, that's it. That's it. I'm looking at the TV. I'm looking at her. I'm looking at the TV. I'm looking at her. I'm like, how did this bitch get in my room? How did she get in my room? Right. So of course, this is white people for you. I did the most logical thing. Gary.
Oh my
right.
God,
and all of a sudden
dude.
she like turned around. She's like, what? Scream like shit. No! Right.
What
the lights on. She's like, what is wrong with you? I was like, why are you wrapped in a sheet? I was cold, but I have to pee. But I don't want to go pee. I'm like, dude, don't stand in the middle of the room wrapped in a sheet. I did not open the closet door right for the next year. Every time I'd open the door, I'd open the door and move out. I'd open the door and move out, so I couldn't see inside of it. And then I'd like peek in real quick. Like,
so now I get why you don't watch horror movies. You're traumatically affected by them.
Yes.
I mean, I am too. I am too, right? Like I definitely look behind, when a movie scares me, I look around a little bit, but not like
this.
Not like that.
Not like this.
Not
I
like
will
that.
get lightheaded. I will freak myself out.
Nah,
so
I don't
I will be like,
has
I start
panic
having
attacks.
heart
As
palpitations.
long as you're under the
yeah.
blanket, like you're safe.
Right.
It's a shield.
I don't know where we came up
It's
with
a
this
shield.
bullshit.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit is not a chill, bro.
Yo, let me tell you something. There's gonna be a serial killer that'll come into the house. I'm gonna be like, see, you can't kill me underneath the sheet because this is my shield.
This is the safe zone.
Gotta come
We
back
don't give a
later.
fuck about that at all. I promise you. Your sheet can go bye-bye along with you. But that's besides the point.
That's so funny.
All right,
though.
so Hollis, you're going original Ringu. Right?
Original. Definitely original.
I'm going the Ring. My girl.
I'm going neither. Fuck both the movies.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you
Okay.
gotta give us an opinion. You just gave us the
All
whole
right,
So the
story.
only one that I saw was the second one, so I've got to go with the American
Okay.
version.
All right. Cool. We're
Okay,
gonna go.
all
with
right,
that.
fair
It's
enough.
scary as
Fair
hell.
enough.
So anybody who likes that, go for it.
All right, so we're gonna go to the next thing. Okay, so this is another remake versus here. So this is the
Oh,
original Evil Dead versus the one released in 2013.
The newer one. Absolutely.
Bro,
It is
one was fun.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like Sam Raimi, I'm pretty sure Sam Raimi directed or produced this one as well, right?
Yeah, but didn't direct
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, he produced it. And this I can't even put into words how great this was. The original is a cult classic. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And it was so funny because I was talking about this earlier. The first time I ever learned about cult fandom was I was like 16 years old working at Burger King. And I had some white coworkers and they were like, hey man, you should come over. We're gonna have a movie night. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go over there and we're in this like little 1-bedroom apartment. It's like 20 of us.
Oh,
And all
shit.
these white people are fucking drunk. And they start the movie and they're like, yeah, and they're fucking screaming and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And at the end of it, I initially enjoyed it, but at first it was just like, hey, this, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it was super fun. But yeah, the original is good, but the second one is so much more scarier.
Yeah,
so
the
much more.
second one with the razor, the box cutter, and the tongue, bro. That
Oh.
shit was a great scene. And
What about the one where she pees on herself? That's what got me. Like literally, when she got possessed and she couldn't control her body and she just started like urinating on herself, that hit me like hard.
it was definitely a good one. And if I had to choose, I'd probably go with the remake as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with that. My girl has no opinion. She
I
hasn't
have
watched
not
either.
watched either of them.
All right. We're going to the next one. This is your boy,
that's
bro.
an
I'm gonna put
absolutely
two.
not.
and two. Okay. I know that Michael Myers is your boy, so I had to put these two against each other. Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers.
Who's gonna win? Or
Who do you,
Well, I mean, who do you
would I
like
pick?
better and why? Yeah.
like it would have to be Michael, because Michael brings you this more realistic terror. You know what I mean?
Rob Zombie Michael, because I think that's what I have a pictured here. That's
I do like the adaptation of Rob Zombie's, the first one, where it plays on the psychology of serial killers and the patterns and the things that they recognize as children. I think that was very clever and very dope that he did, which gave a really good backstory to Michael and his depiction of him. So it would definitely have to be Michael. It would definitely have to be Michael.
I give the nod to Michael as well because he's just more current right now. You know, Jason just hasn't popped out in a fucking hot second. And as much as I love this fucking hockey mask dude, you know, Michael Myers is the guy right now. In terms
bro, I love Jason.
Yeah, me too. And Jason has more movies under his belt, right? Is that true?
Jason has 8. Well, no, if you're counting
X, bro.
Jason X.
Freddy versus Jason. I mean, come on.
Freddy versus Jason.
And the remake with the Jared Padalecki from Supernatural. Like,
yes, you watch Supernatural too?
Of course, one of my favorite shows. Yeah,
man, we could have a segment just on that. Honestly,
I knew this already when I found you on TikTok. I was like, this is gonna be my dude right here.
Look, I appreciate that, bro. Everything I love.
But I'm gonna go Michael Myers on this one. My girl will not watch the new Halloween with me. I've tried so hard.
You have to.
Bro, I'm gonna watch Dear Evan Hansen with her next week in Dolby, and she won't
see,
watch
then there you
Halloween
go.
Kills.
It's a fair
That's what
trade.
I'm saying.
Oh
That is
That's
horrific
fair
to
trade.
me.
Look, don't encourage this.
That is
I
horrific
watch-
to me.
No, I have to encourage this. This is relationship goals, damn it.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. This motherfucker will watch the most depressing, crazy, fucked up movies, and we will sit through every one of them. I take him to one musical in like literally 2 years, and all of a sudden I owe him shit.
Yeah, but
We will do weeks, months of watching
But
nothing
you like
but
that shit too.
desolate movies, and most of them aren't even in English. I be reading a lot.
That's
I really
Wait, do you not like subtitles?
no, I love it.
She
but
loves
I
it.
mean,
Okay.
I really had to bust out my hooked on phonics skills for some of this.
Like
shit.
we watch
All
like
I'm saying is,
Rosetta Stone in this bitch? Oh, okay. All right.
we
Okay.
watch a lot of Korean thrillers too, like I Saw the Devil and stuff like that.
Yes,
Old
so
Boy.
good.
I love you already know how I feel about
Bro.
like porn. Yeah,
Koreans know how to make a fucking movie.
they do, and they're
my
they're very
God,
stabby.
bro.
yep.
They're
They're the best.
Every
so
Korean
good.
film I've ever seen, they're very fucking like artistic with their knife work. It's
yeah.
like a thing they do. Like, you know, a knife is gonna come out eventually, and somebody's gonna get fucking stabbed to death. And so I kind of look forward to that in Korean films.
The big thing about Korean films is that I always feel like they don't leave as many loopholes. I feel like sometimes American films, there becomes too many hands in the cookie jar when it comes down to writing, and all of a sudden there's these huge loopholes where you get done and you're like,
Exactly.
it was pretty good,
Korean
but
films
what
are
happened
polished.
to this? And I feel
Right.
like I don't remember watching a Korean film where I was like, man, there was a huge.
You loved every
loophole in
single
that.
one that we watched, man. And we've been watching a lot of thrillers on Hulu. I have a list like in my little notepad.
Then
like,
I have one for
check out.
both of you guys, and I
Which
know
one?
you've probably seen the trailer for it.
Okay,
It's
which one?
called Squid Game.
I
I just did
Squid
it.
Game, I started watching it because of you. I'm up to episode 4 right now. Great.
What do
fucking
you
show.
think?
Love it. I'm addicted to it.
Right?
4 episodes in about a day. I watch a lot of it at work, and we just came from Atlantic City, so
Yeah, I've seen
feel
that.
like-
I've seen
I
that.
feel like this show has a lot of these casino slots kind of sounds, and
Right.
there's a lot of psychological stuff where like you see these people with face masks that have like triangles and circles and squares on them, and then they're all wearing red, and they're in a big room like organizing people, and there's a lot of like cool stuff like that, and the soundtrack fits really well with it.
Right?
And I love the actors in it too. Like everyone meshes well together. So I'm only up to episode 4, so I don't know a lot lot about it yet.
Oh,
But
I
so
don't
far-
spoil anything at
Yes.
all. That is
So
not my
far,
thing.
I fucking love it though. So
Right?
far,
Has your wife watched it with you
He
yet?
hasn't even told me about
my
it.
girl hasn't
That
watched
bullshit.
it yet. It's on Netflix. It's called Squid Game,
You know
and
what else is on
basically,
Netflix,
what?
Criminal Mind.
All right. Well, look, you should watch Squid Game because Criminal Mind is mid as fuck. Okay.
Look, all I'm saying is Shamar Moore in this.
Yeah, but
Ooh,
babe,
Lord, let's talk about addiction. I
But
can
you
watch
like-
Wait. Hey,
listen.
why talk about the light?
But you like
You know
Asians
what?
though.
Oh, we could talk about lots of people.
But that's what
Believe
I'm
me.
I know.
saying.
Believe me.
Hey, I'm letting you know she like you because you golden brown like Shamar Moore. I'm telling you right now, bro. You golden crispy
Look.
brown, bro.
Oh, that's so funny. Don't play. I drool a little bit at Idris Elba
here's
too.
the thing, right? my girl.
You better stop playing with me, Tyrese. I'll name some dudes.
Oh my
I will
god,
drop it.
my Kelly.
Oh, my.
Kelly likes
Y'all
to
too
take.
funny, man. Like, I love it. I fucking love it. Like, I swear.
Oh man, there's equal love for everyone.
Kelly likes to take her dip in the koi pond. That's what she likes. She loves Asians. That's her shit. We met on an app where a lot of Asians hang out at. You know, that's where we met, and we ended up getting married. But you know, you should watch this show, man.
Yeah,
Well,
why are you telling her like
Did a lot of-
she's like your friend?
Because she likes
I
the
dipped in
true
every
crime.
pond.
Like
Let's be
this
honest
is not a
about
horror
that.
movie. This is a
It's
movie.
not. It's not
This
horror
is not
at
a
all.
horror show. So
Okay,
basically, it's about these people that have a lot of debt, right? They
Right.
owe money. They
Okay.
cannot pay it. And the main character is this guy who has a daughter. He loves her, but he's a gambling addict.
Right.
And then
Kind of
all
an
of a
idiot.
sudden, everyone
Yeah.
gets kind of kidnapped into this game. And there's like 456 people in the game.
Yeah.
And you play games like red light, green light. But the
Right.
consequences are if you're moving when it's red light, you get fucking shot in the face.
Yeah.
So people are getting killed. But the amount of money that you could win, I Googled it, it was like $37 million or something.
Which is a lot of money.
Yeah. So you know,
Not to get shot in the face.
And each time it's just these games that you used to play as a kid, and everyone is playing it, and more people are dying. People start to like team up and make and try to figure out the games.
Okay.
And that's the show. And there's only 9 episodes.
You'll love it.
Not that long. It's very good. All right, we're gonna move on because I could tell that this is a podcast where we could just fucking talk forever because we're all movie buffs here. So
sorry, bro, my bad.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
Best type.
This is super fun.
Yes.
Like I could tell you this right now. My girl wasn't even gonna hop on here, but she was like, "Oh, they're fucking talking movies. I'm gonna get on this."
Right? I loved it, man.
I watched this horror movie and then I fucked immediately after. And I was like, I better get in there.
Right? No, that's what brought her in here.
Don't worry, I already heard that story.
Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna go Michael Myers versus, right? And let me show you the next stuff here. Okay, so
what else we got?
The other one that I have, I think this is the last verses I have here. So this is the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers versus Freddy Krueger.
You already know what I'm gonna say. You already know what I'm gonna say.
Who do you got on this one?
Freddy Krueger.
Jeepers Creepers.
You like Jeeper better?
I mean, it's hard to explain because Freddy is one of those things that he'll come in your dreams, but he can actually be brought into reality from the,
dream world,
from the energy that he gets from the people who are giving energy to him. But Jeepers Creepers is literally a different type of beast. So if Freddy came out to reality, I feel like Jeepers Creepers would chop this motherfucker up and eat his heart and become a dream demon at the same time. So I'm definitely going with Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, so Creeper from Jeepers Creepers, that's who you're going with.
Yes.
I love Freddy because I grew up watching Nightmare on Elm Street. I even had the board game, bro. My mom bought us the board game. Yeah, where you have to like draw cards and it depends on like
who dies.
Yeah, like you will get like, oh, go back 3 spaces. Oh, you just got killed, like stuff like that.
What?
Yeah, this was I lived in Brooklyn, and I gotta say it must have been like 1988.
I mean, I can't say none. I used to play Clue for fun.
Yeah, but I mean,
nothing wrong with Clue. I love Clue.
I mean, it's kind of the same. I'm like, man, you played a board game where somebody died. Wait, I used to play Clue. So
yeah, right.
And the iconic song 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
Right?
Dude, so
it would creep me the fuck out to play that game.
Creepers was no better. Like that movie fucking ended. It's like Jeepers.
You watched Jeepers Creepers?
Yes, in high school.
Why don't you?
Hey, look, I love that.
You get those peepers, and there's like little eyeballs floating in the jar at the end.
God.
I'm like,
where'd you get those?
Right?
All right, so we're gonna go with the Creeper on this one because I do think that if Freddy is pulled into reality, I do think the Creeper has the skills necessary to defeat him. But if you go,
what the fuck is he though?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, I can't defeat either of those bitches, so fuck them both. I'd be going down.
So we're going Creeper on that one. And,
yes, definitely Creeper.
That was fucking really. This is a really good podcast. I gotta say this. I had so much fun doing this, and
man, thank you.
I'm definitely gonna have you back on, dude. If you ever want tips on starting a podcast, just like let me know. I'll let you know what I know because I do think that you speak very clearly. You speak very well. You're passionate about what you're doing. And I truly feel that if you start, like it could build into something much later because
thank you.
Yeah, I just see it, man.
It's funny, but Ray,
get me comfortable, bro, and I will be. Yeah, I am legit. Like I'm still a little bit nervous right now because this is my first podcast.
I can't even tell.
Oh no, you're doing great.
Yeah, I
this
can't
is your
even
first
tell.
ever.
Yeah, I cannot even tell.
Ever. Like I told him, I haven't done social media at all.
Yeah, he said
MySpace.
MySpace. I was like, dang,
now
bro.
That took me back.
Would we be on your top 8 if MySpace was still around right now?
Right? No, yeah, you would definitely be on my top 8. Wow, there's a profile pic right there, huh?
You know, it's
The
crazy.
brightest profile pic we could possibly come up with.
It's so
Just
funny.
overtake it.
No, it's not. That was cute.
It's
That
so
was
funny.
super
But
cute.
seriously, Ray is, since I've met him, he's been on a mission. Well, I wouldn't say since we met, but since you really started the podcast, started podcasting, Ray loves having podcast people. Like his whole thing is, man, you just love my microphone.
No,
his
I'm
whole
trying
thing,
to.
if I get too close, like you're
No,
too
it's like
close.
you got to
and
be
then
like
he's,
this much away from me.
I got to
Yeah.
measure too close. Okay.
No, you can't be like
let me
this.
get-
This is how
hold
it
on.
used to be back
I gotta
then. We can't do that anymore.
figure it
Like,
out.
hi, baby.
Like this,
Anyways,
like this.
How you
but no,
doing?
yeah, right. So he is really good at telling people like you'd be good at this,
Yeah.
right? So
No, he's great at this. You've made me feel so comfortable. Sorry to cut you off, too.
no.
Thank you,
That's
bro.
what we do all the time here. It really isn't who has something to say. It's who is more excited about
Who can
saying
beat
it
who
at
to
that
the
moment.
punch, right?
Yeah.
But no, he really is all about people doing this because it really is a really fun way to meet new people and to just, I don't know, just kind of talk.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
out
like me, you genuinely want to interact with people, and that's something you don't get a lot of nowadays. Like you don't,
Word.
especially on social media.
Yeah, I was about to say, at least not on social media and not
Yeah.
genuinely. I think that people have a hard time hearing, hearing things on a social media platform without getting defensive. And this is one of the first places where you can kind of come out and say, this is how I feel about it. It's just a respectable environment. And we try to keep it non-political, we crack little jokes here and there, but we keep it lighthearted because you know what? Politics are for the depressing news. Like I said, that's the most horrifying thing you can
for
watch.
the crime movies, right? And shows. Yeah.
We talk about nerdy shit like shows, movies, comics, MCU, stuff like that is what we really talk about the most.
That's right up my alley. And that's a lot of people think because I predominantly post horror movies that they think that's all I like is horror movies. And it's not. You know what I mean? I love everything. I'm a connoisseur.
I think that just definitely keep doing what you're doing, man. If there's ever anything that we can do for you, just let me know. If you start
a podcast, we'll be your
start
first
a
guest.
podcast. We'll guest on it. No problem.
I was already thinking that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was already in the plan. I definitely want to get a panel together and talk about horror movies. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely just don't want to pick and grab a bunch of people who seem like they know what they're talking about because they like horror movies, but people who actually like YouTube.
Like I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't call me out like that in public because I've seen a few of them, but I said we're
gonna watch more. We'll watch more sci-fi and shit like that. And
he was like, "We're gonna watch more."
But I'll try to keep the supernatural stuff away from you. You should watch Halloween though, because it's mostly like true crime. Basically.
I watch Halloween every October 31st.
The new Halloween with Rob Zombie
the train
is barely
and I go
supernatural.
Downtown. And that's enough of a horror show.
Oh my god, my fucking life is a horror show with you every day. All right,
hey, y'all, stop it,
but
bro.
everybody, please go on TikTok, follow midnight_movie. Do you have any other social with you or
Yes, I have like 2 other sites on TikTok, which is Hollis Cushite and Midnight.
That is you? Okay, all right. I thought you were just sending me clips. I'm like, who? Does it just like this person?
It's for a purpose, like and I didn't want to overwhelm everybody with trying to make them follow all 3 of my sites, so I just here and there gradually send things, and that was actually my first site, which didn't do well. Like they literally shadow banned me. But either way, I have Hollis Cushite, and then I have Midnight Horror Show, which is all nothing but horror clips.
And Midnight_movie is your main one.
In a sense of it's where I have most of my followers. So Midnight Movie would be my main one.
And I'm gonna put all those links in the description. Please follow him and buy our merch, man. We have Everyday City Carry merch now. It's gonna be in the description as well. But this is your boy Ray and your girl Kelly and Midnight Movie saying peace and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.